else to think that they should be allowed to move up. Like what the hell is Austin Peay gonna do? Like that I'm all for peeing. I love pee. I show my penis all the time, every single day. My one regret, I went to Middle Tennessee this summer to see some people. The one place I didn't get to go was Austin Peay. I used to kick it on Austin Peay's campus all the time. You know, my mom graduated from Austin Peay. My dad took classes at Austin Peay before he stopped taking classes at Austin Peay. That was crazy. I think at one point my dad was 3 classes away. So something like 12 hours away from graduating from college. He just stopped. But Austin Peay should not be allowed to be in the FBS. That just doesn't make sense to me. That's why the split is happening. Too many of those type teams moving up.
Yeah.
Do we? That other light is up top. So I'm not sure if I can reach it. But we'll figure it out. What was the song?
You Can't Stop the Beat from Hairspray.
Oh, I'm not writing that down either.
Oh, you can't stop today. No, as it comes speeding down the track. Ooh-wee. I just like to think that I performed that song at a 5th grade birthday party after going and seeing Hairspray in New York on a family vacation. And I came back and I sang every verse of You Can't Stop the Beat. And my favorite part was screaming, and if they try to stop us, seaweed, I'll call the NAACP. And I just am like, did anyone know what I was talking about?
No. What? Why are you singing at a birthday party? Was it a karaoke?
It was such an awful theme for a birthday party. It still makes me mad to this day. It was talent show. It was a talent show at a birthday party because the girl who was having the birthday party just wanted to sing for everybody. So everyone had to have like a talent to bring. And I'll never forget, we were in the car driving home from the airport from our trip to New York, and I'm trying to teach myself You Can't Stop the Beat so I have something to do at this child's birthday party.
So wait.
And that's what I picked.
Wait.
Yeah.
So instead of it just being, hey, let's
kick it at a birthday party.
Let's hang out, let's play tag, let's paint our faces, let's play in the water.
Here's an
maybe.
assignment.
It is, hey, come here and perform for my birthday. And
yes.
Was there like a reward system? Were we ranking the performances?
No, but I think it was just assumed that the birthday girl was going to be the winner of the talent show. It was so stupid.
What were other people's talents?
One girl danced. She always danced.
Okay,
She's a dance teacher to this day.
Of course.
She's got a nice little following.
Was there a comedian? Was there somebody cracking
No, someone juggled.
Someone juggled? How old are you people?
5th grade.
5th grade and juggling?
Yeah.
At a high level?
She was decent.
Was
someone yo-yoed.
Was there
We had a
cake?
big yo-yo contingency in our elementary school.
Okay, was there cake?
Yeah, there was cake.
Okay.
Of course there was cake. It's a birthday party. Of course. Talent show cake? What else are you going to have? What's up, everybody? It is Thursday, August 14th. It is going to be a good day. Jessica Benson with you from the Grind City Media Studios in Memphis, Tennessee. CJ Hurt behind the glass coming up on today's show. I watched all 2 hours of the Taylor Swift New Heights appearance yesterday. I will tell you what I learned, what I loved. Teresa Walker will join us about 20 minutes in. We'll talk with her about the Tennessee Titans, the continuation of the NFL preseason. There was a fight at Titans joint practice with the Falcons yesterday. We'll get into some college football news as well, as we are less than 10 days away from the college football season. It is Thursday. It is draft day. And speaking of college football, we are drafting the greatest college football upsets of all time. So specifically upsets in college football all time. We'll get into that. We'll do some Theater Thursday. CJ and I both saw Weapons. We will do a no spoilers conversation on what we thought about that. It is Thursday. It is almost Friday. You know what we say. Shake it off. Shake it off. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm a Swiftie now. Yeah, I'm a Swiftie. With an IE.
You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for?
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum, Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
Coach Thorpe, to his credit, also taught me, like, just simplify your game. Like, it doesn't have to be difficult. You don't have to do all the up and under stuff. Like, he always talks about getting to the second box. My biggest thing is just do what I can to make the right play. It doesn't, if it ends up in a shot, it does. If it ends up in a pass to an assist, it does. Shooting 72% is credit to, I guess the work I put in and my coach is helping me.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
You get to the main event, and you hear the crowd. There's some rumblings in the crowd.
Here we go.
They say, "We want truth."
I love how John Cena said when they were chanting, "We want truth." You can't handle the truth.
There you go.
I loved it.
He takes the knee off, boom. Takes the mask off, boom. And it's our freaking truth. God, man, he cost John Cena the match.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Let's check the over-under totals. Alabama, Georgia, and Texas all at 9.5. LSU, Ole Miss, Tennessee at 8.5.
I love Ole Miss over the 8.5. I think Ole Miss can win 9.
But Ole Miss, they're gonna, Ole Miss, they're gonna lose to Arkansas week
But they
3.
could go 9-3. Like Ole Miss winning 10 games
They always
is
pull
always
some
like
crap like that.
Ole Miss winning 10 can seem a bit of a stretch, but they can win 9.
They're gonna lose at Kentucky week 2.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Feels great to feel the sunshine. Gotta own the day like it's all mine. Just got paid in his own time. Been working hard, I've been on the grind. I deserve this feeling, having my way. I've been on this healing. This is my day. The sun's out. Let's have a little fun now. I wanna let it all out. That's what it's all about. Cause I deserve this feeling, having my way. I deserve this healing. This is my day.
Grind City Media presents The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. Live from the Grind City Media Studios on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday. It is almost Friday. I hope you are having a tremendous week. Happy schedule release day in the NBA. I saw Devin Walker say it should be a national holiday on the list of national holidays. I'm not sure where NBA schedule release day would fit, but I am always excited for the NBA schedule to come out.
Okay. We should have done
exercise.
a sports national holiday draft. Like
That's a good
these
one.
sporting events should be considered national
Super
holidays.
Bowl,
and
clear-
you should get
clear
off
number
of work.
one.
Super Bowl, the Super Bowl Monday.
Super Bowl, yes, because
So,
Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah.
So
it's a
Super
day of
Bowl-
rest, but not for Super Bowl.
Super Bowl Monday.
Yes,
should
Super
be
Bowl
off.
Monday. The first week of March Madness is my clear cut number 2. The
The
Thursday,
whole-
Friday. The Thursday, Friday.
So Thursday and
Yes,
Friday,
Thursday
March
and
Madness
Friday, March Madness.
should be
Yes.
national holidays off from work.
Yes.
Okay, so that's 2.
College football national championship game, just for funsies.
Well, that is actually on
It
during
is this
the
year.
work week, isn't
Well,
it?
this year it's Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
So it's on an actual holiday.
Yes.
But it's Monday,
Okay.
so that's always a work day. So yes,
Sure.
that works.
Yes. Olympics.
The entire Olympics?
Yeah.
The
I think as a
entire
national,
Olympics?
I think if you care about the United States of America, you should get the
entire
entirety
month
of the
and a
Olympics.
half
Yes, if we
of the
are.
Olympics.
Do you love America as a corporation? You should give your employees the
Listen,
time off to watch every event.
Even if I didn't love America, I love days off. I like that plan. Give me a month and a
Okay.
half off. College basketball national championship.
Well, I took the Thursday, Friday of March Madness because that's during the day. That feels more necessary. It feels greedy to do that and then also get the Monday of the national championship game off.
You got it.
Any others?
I think
no schedule releases are making the list, but I respect the intensity in your fandom. I'm all for right now. I am in my respect people caring about things era. I'm an era girl now because I'm a Swiftie with an IE, as I discovered yesterday. Singular Swiftie is still the IE. Plural Swifties is the IES. So if you want to care aggressively about the NBA schedule release, go for it. I care about it. It shapes my life for the next however many months. And we did get the NBA group games, the NBA Cup group games, I should say, yesterday, but we will get the entirety of the Grizzlies schedule. We haven't gotten a single game from them outside of their trip to Berlin and London and finding out that they weren't playing on MLK Day this year, but we will find out the rest of their schedule when certain teams come here. The Lakers are here on Halloween night for that NBA Cup group play game, which is spooky season and should be interesting. But we will fully dissect the Grizzlies schedule tomorrow. I believe it comes out this afternoon. But when I say that I am all about people caring, yes, CJ.
Real quick,
yes,
before we get off of this, I know
Sure.
we gotta hit that algorithm. We gotta talk about your girl.
It's not just hitting the algorithm. I now care.
Oh gosh.
I've been swooped up.
Which is even better.
I've been so whooped up.
Which is even better. Thursday at the Masters?
Yeah.
Thursday at the Masters?
I'm for it.
NFL Draft Day, first round? That Thursday?
It's low on the list.
It's okay.
It's low on the list.
Okay. Those were two coming from the chat. Thank you.
The first day of Maction? The first Tuesday of Maction of the college football season? Come on.
It can't be that one.
Why not?
Because that is not when it gets mactacular.
That's true.
It's got to be that Maction game, that Ohio versus Eastern Michigan in Ypsilanti in late October, early November.
It has to be snowing.
With wind gusts over 30 miles per hour, some type of wintry mix coming down on the field.
Yes.
Both teams are missing their starting two quarterbacks. So you've got running backs playing quarterback, and you know just wacky stuff is finna pop off.
I see the vision.
Yeah.
I also see the vision in Taylor Swift fans. Last night at 6:00 p.m., I turned on the New Heights podcast along with 1.3 million of my closest friends. That's how many of us were watching it live as Taylor Swift had a two-hour conversation with Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce. 1.3 million live viewers, which is crazy numerology because Taylor Swift talked about how much she loves numerology and her love for the number 13, which is called triskaidecapophilia, which is the opposite of the fear of the number 13. 1.3, 13. Oh no, I have fallen down the Taylor Swift fandom rabbit hole and I can't get up. I watched all 2 hours of this thing last night. We were about 45 minutes in and Chris goes, okay, that's enough. I go, what do you mean that's enough? We've been watching this for 45 minutes. We're gonna watch the whole thing. And then CJ, the interview literally broke the internet. Taylor Swift on New Heights actually broke the internet. Not the entire internet, but it did break the stream because we were like an hour and 45 minutes into this thing, and suddenly mid-interview, it fades to black mid-conversation and just cuts out, and it's because the YouTube stream crashed. Because there were so many people watching it live, and they eventually got the rest of it up. But I think the fact that the live stream crashed is a testament to just how big of a deal this was. It was a huge sports story. It was a huge pop culture story. It was just a big event that people treated like a sporting event or a political event. And there were a good number of people who went out of their way to watch an episode of New Heights on YouTube last night or stream it on wherever you get your podcasts. As of this morning, it's up to 9 million viewers. It is the most viewed episode of New Heights, which, duh. It has a way to go to be the most viewed podcast ever in the YouTube space. But I think it could probably get up there because the interest in this is massive. And it's crazy because like the ultimate cherry on top ends up being an album announcement. Like you officially get the album announcement. It's coming out October 3rd. It's the life of a showgirl, and she worked on it while she was in the middle of the Eras tour. And there's a song with Sabrina Carpenter on it, which gets me all kinds of excited. And Travis Kelce's heard it all, and he says everything's a bop, and it's way more of the pop element of it. Why'd you make that face?
What the hell is Travis Kelce supposed to say in that situation?
He'll tell you everything's great because that's what he does with his girlfriend, who he clearly loves and adores.
Very much so, right?
Yes.
I'm just saying, like,
I know.
Am I going to take Travis Kelce's word on
No.
Taylor Swift?
And I'm not taking Taylor
album?
Swift's word on her album.
I got
and
you.
like as a new member, I'm like a fringe Swiftie.
Mm-hmm. We talked about it. You fought it for a while.
I've fought it,
You
but I'm
fought it for
finally
a while.
embracing what I was always meant to be.
Yes.
The album is like secondary to me.
She's just an interesting person.
Fascinating. And
Okay.
watching her in that format,
Yeah.
fascinating. Like, I don't think we have ever had a situation where she has talked for 2 straight hours in as real and natural of a setting. And those 3 have incredible chemistry. Both Jason Kelce operating as, they're calling him the new Barbara Walters, which is a slight mischaracterization of a podcast that is comfy cozy and people chatting and having fun in a natural setting, and Barbara Walters, who would have gotten to the middle of the interview.
Let him be.
But
If he wants to be Barbara Walters, let that man be Barbara.
He's such a big personality. It's unfair to him too. Like, he's just so fun and has such like a magnanimous personality to watch. And so he drives the interview or the conversation. And then it's Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. And it's this insight into her, but also into their relationship. And I will never sit here and pretend that we 100% know the inner workings of a celebrity relationship, of any relationship. You never know what goes on behind closed doors, but especially in the celebrity space, because like, that showbiz, baby, everything is PR, and all of this is meticulously planned out with the album drop and Travis Kelce on the cover of GQ, and it's coming up on the football season and having this episode of New Heights. But in watching those 2 interact, like, simply being able to interpret their conversations and their body language, they have a really cool thing going on. They have a really cool relationship. And the way that they respectfully talk about one another and support one another, there were multiple times where Travis Kelce would say something like, "She's the greatest singer ever." And Taylor Swift would be like, "Yeah, says my boyfriend." And then he would say another thing and she'd be like, "Yeah, says my boyfriend." And then he would keep doing it over and over. And like, on her end of it, she went on this like story of describing Travis Kelce as a human exclamation point, which is a great way to describe someone. And you see Jason Kelce's response to her describing him in that way. And you kind of see this like in real time clicking of Jason Kelce being like, what an awesome way to describe this person that I have loved my entire life. And just the interactions back and forth. At one point, Taylor Swift like kind of got on Travis Kelce and told him to stop pretending like he doesn't know big words. She's like, "You know these words, stop it. You know what this means." And then he did a whole bit where he's like, "She's so hot when she uses big words." And I'm like, oh my God, why is this so sickeningly cute? But it's so real. Like, the way he looks at her is real. The way they interact. She told the story of how she got her master's back and she starts crying in the middle of it. And he kind of holds on to her in a very affectionate and loving way. And it was incredibly engaging. You learned some things. I didn't know that Andy Reid had a hand in setting them up. Andy Reid had a friendship previously with her father. And so Andy Reid essentially was like, yeah, you should give this guy a chance. And Taylor Swift had no knowledge of football whatsoever. Like, she joked how she used to think that the quarterbacks would line up against one another, which is how we talk about football. So I can understand how someone who doesn't follow the sport would think that it's, I think she said, was it Jared Goff and Josh Allen? I think she was like just expecting those two. So when she asked Travis Kelce what it was like going up against his brother in a Super Bowl, what it was like seeing him on the other side, and he had to explain to her, like, well, you know, he wasn't right there. We're on the same side of the ball. But it was very fun. And at one point I was laughing loudly, and Chris just goes, "You're getting a little too into this." And I said, no. And it doesn't have to be, like, you don't have to make fun of people for, well, okay, there's a line to be drawn at sometimes. But I found it a fascinating pop culture moment. And you and I, to bring it back to the Barbara Walters of it all, we just had this conversation last week about the big celebrity interview and how we don't have those anymore. The last big one we really had was the Oprah interview with Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. And now I do think podcasts represent, it's different because podcasts are for a place of comfort, and especially when you're going on with someone you know, they're never going to try to get you with a gotcha journalism question. And there were, a handful of things that I thought would have been interesting to hear Taylor Swift talk about that they didn't ask yesterday. I would love to know what Travis Kelce's response would be to, like, the president of the United States says that he hates your girlfriend and that she's not hot anymore. Like, I'm fascinated in that. Barbara Walters would have smacked him with that question. This was not the place for that. This was just a conversation amongst friends to be safe and to enjoy themselves and to get a glimpse of who she is when she's not in an interview setting. She just seems chill. I hate to say it. Seems like a chill girl. Seems like someone I would enjoy having a glass of wine with or sitting and watching a football game with at this point.
I think we've moved from that sort of a interview, the way things were done, because I think we've changed as a collective what interests us. And what interests us now, we do like the scandal. Don't get me wrong. The love of the scandal is not going to go anywhere anytime soon. But we want to know that these people who have these larger-than-life personas, these larger-than-life characters out here in various industries, we want to know that they do regular stuff and that the interactions are similar to the interactions that we have, that Taylor Swift's interaction with her boyfriend and her boyfriend's brother is similar to the interactions that I would have with my wife and her siblings, or my wife has with me, her husband, and my siblings. Like, we want to know that. So to see that playing out in front of you, millions, right? I can see how that would appease you if that's somebody that you're genuinely interested in. I give people, what is it? Grief? Guff? Is it guff?
It's grief.
Well, I give people.
Give them grief.
Don't you give? Stop giving me guff or gruff or something like that. Isn't that a phrase? I don't know. I'll look it up. Either way it goes. I give people that type of thing because it's playful. I jab at you. You're supposed to jab back. I create a space where you can make fun of me for Ninja Turtles as I sit here in my Ninja Turtle shirt while I make fun of you about whatever thing it is that is your thing.
Yeah.
This will never be my thing. And I hope everybody knows when I'm teasing you, I do so with love. And I appreciate the fact that you found something relatively harmless to make your thing and make part of what you are. Also, when is the album coming out?
October 3rd.
Is that Mean Girls Day?
It is. It's like, oh my God.
So.
This is like a very proud moment.
What?
Because I don't think you previously would have known that was Mean Girls Day.
Listen,
October 3rd.
Life, you're allowed to use whatever resources you can to get the answer. I cheated. Somebody brought it up in the chat. That's the only reason I know. God, I don't even know what the hell it means to be Mean Girl Day. Why is it Mean Girl Day?
I was so proud of you.
Okay, don't be proud. Never
because
be proud
Aaron
of me.
Samuels asked her for a pencil, or asked her what day it was. It's October 3rd.
Who? Asked who?
Aaron Samuels
Who's
asked
he?
Katie Heron.
Who's that? Wait,
it's Mean Girls the movie.
Okay.
Just move on. It's okay.
No,
it's okay.
I don't want to move. I want to know these
But I do
things.
love that it's coming out on October 3rd.
So is she going to be the new Mean Girl, right? Like, does this mean you hadn't done the research on if Taylor Swift is going to be on Broadway in the new Mean Girls?
Well, I am excited about the fact that there is some trickling. This is sheer rumor and speculation, but this is how you could really hook me in. Is this whole, like, the life of a showgirl? Again, reckless speculation. Some people think that she might be doing a limited run at the Sphere, which tickets would be $8,000 million trillion.
That's fine.
But there's also speculation that a Broadway show could be in the works. And in that case, she's so smart. Like, I say that very flippantly, and I don't want to sit here and be like, I had no idea Taylor Swift was this smart. Like, she's a writer, and you can hear when she converses, her vocabulary is incredible. Like, she sounds like an English teacher speaking to you with the words that she will randomly drop and the way that she frames sentences and frames thought processes. But even when she was talking about her Eras tour and like all the little motifs that she sprinkled through there and homages to specific either Broadway references or show references or book references, I'm like, girl, you're so deep. No one understands what you're talking about right now, except for your deepest fans. But I do think there's this showmanship or showwomanship to her that would be very interesting from a Broadway space. I found it fun. She bakes sourdough. She's in her sourdough era. She's making Travis Kelce sourdough. Want to know my biggest takeaway, CJ? What? Do not draft Travis Kelce in your fantasy football leagues this year. Don't. He's too in love. He's in too good of a space. He's eating sourdough every day. We don't need a sourdough eater. We need someone who's getting svelte. Getting ready for the football
season. I don't
season.
need to draft Travis Kelce because he's eating sourdough.
Is the Chiefs dynasty done because Travis Kelce fell in love with Taylor Swift?
Not because this man didn't produce at all in the regular season last year. He looks hobbled when he runs up and down the football field. And isn't he my age? Which is entirely too damn old for a football player, especially a tight end, to be extremely productive. It's a sourdough and the love. That's why I shouldn't draft him. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
I also did love her. Sorry, I'm thinking of all the things that happened. She talked about how when Xavier Worthy got drafted, she was running around her house with excitement. And she was like, how did I get to this spot? And I was like, I totally understand that. Like suddenly becoming interested in something that never before you had any interest in, and next thing you know, it's NFL draft day, and the Chiefs took Xavier Worthy, and you're having a conniption fit of excitement over it, and you're the one who breaks it to Travis Kelce. And then last thing before we get to Teresa Walker, she talked about her energy at one point. I did think their conversations around how they deal with the media and social media, but also just the media at large's response to their relationship was really interesting, because I do wonder that sometimes. It has to be so overwhelming, and none of us can begin to fathom what it's like to have 24 million unread direct messages or have to sift through such negative comments, positive comments, everything in between. And she talked about her energy and treating it like a luxury item. And she said to treat your energy like it's expensive and not everyone can afford it. And I was like, ooh, we even got a little therapy from Taylor Swift on this podcast. Oh, God, I'm deep. This is tough. This is tough for me to admit, but I am here. Swifties, please welcome me with arms wide open. Shout out, Creed. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll find out if Teresa Walker had any interest in the New Heights podcast. Plus, Tennessee Titans joint practice with the Falcons got a little chippy yesterday. We'll get her takes on the Titans preseason debut from over the weekend, the Cam Ward of it all, and some SEC football talk too after a quick break.
Preseason Box to Row Coaches Bowl has come out. Jackson State sits there at number 1. This is the third time in the poll's history that Jackson State has been the preseason number 1 team in the nation. And then Tennessee State being at 5, that really surprised me.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GBWR.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item, whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Speaking of Adidas, are these the hardened 10s?
Yes.
Yes.
I guess so. From what
you guys don't sound too excited. It kind of looks like when you flush the toilet in the water.
Yeah, it's like a whirlpool.
Like
Want to be phone positive?
Yeah.
Want to be phone positive? Or artists just making some paint up and they just
looks like phone positive material.
Yeah, or a thumbprint. The Sneak Fest Show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Scotty Scheffler ran away with the Open Championship this weekend. My God, this guy, he's not real. Have we reached the point with Scotty Scheffler where you don't have to care a thing about golf, but you still know there's a dude named Scotty Scheffler who is awesome at it?
He is
solidified himself as one of the greats in the sport. At this point, probably of all time.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What is the biggest Summer League accomplishment so far for this Grizzlies team?
Tuomas Isolo filling out his coaching staff. The Ryan Saunders hiring was essential. It was big time. You have a veteran NBA voice there.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Welcome back. It is Thursday. That means it's time to catch up with one of our favorites, Teresa Walker from the Associated Press. She joins us every Thursday. She joins us now. Teresa, did you have any interest in the Taylor Swift appearance on the New Heights podcast?
I did. I actually wanted to watch it, and I got busy with work, and then it was like dinner time, and it's like, oh, wait, that was... So I spent last night kind of scrolling through social media and seeing some of the snippets. And, because, I mean, I remember back in the day when she was still, kind of blooming as an artist, she came to Predator games. I mean, so it's like, and to see where she's grown as a writer, to see her, I have no musical talent except in my car with the music up very, very loud to drown me out. But to watch somebody who writes and create so much, writing is tough. Okay, to do what she does just blows my mind. And that snippet where she talks about how she's performing, and then she goes and she was working on this album. It's like, yeah, wow. I mean, that, because when I've had a long stretch of, say, NCAA tournament or something like that, I need to get my mind away from everything I'm doing. And yet she just dove on in deeper into the pool and tapped that creative vein. And the bigger thing, though, I'm somebody who loves her Shake It Off, those kind of songs. Yeah. And the fact that she's got supposedly 12 bangers coming on this one, that's what's got me waiting for October 3rd.
Yeah, I prefer that kind of music from her as well, and so I'm excited for that piece of it. I think you nailed it on the incredible work ethic and kind of insanity that it takes to work on an album while you're on a tour like the Eras tour. But then it also showed the importance of finding a partner who gets that and who respects it. And I feel like that's where Travis Kelce sees it's different. But you heard him multiple times, and through the GQ interview he did too. He calls her an athlete over and over, which I think is like the ultimate stamp of respect that a professional athlete can give a non-professional athlete, because they don't like to dole that out. Like, that's a very special, sacred designation that they hold on to. But in him looking at how... Yeah, in him having this inside look at how she tackles her shows, her preparation, her rehearsals, her relationship with her team even. And they refer to the various like similarities between a music star and someone operating on a football team or a sports team. But I think it just really shows the ultimate importance of finding somebody who respects that, believes in that, because I'm sure there were nights where she was probably pretty crabby, or she wasn't able to do anything, or she's exhausted, and you have to find someone who's willing to go on that journey with you. And that's where I was an early doubter of this whole thing. I thought it was a PR stunt, admittedly. I will never walk back on that. But now seeing it, I understand how complementary they are of each other, both from like physically complimenting each other all the time, but also just how that works as a couple. I wish we had more artist-athlete relationships. I mean, we have Klay Thompson and Meg Thee Stallion popping off right now, and I do think there's a similarity between those two professions that just works.
I think what you're hinting at is like men being supportive of their super successful partner.
That too, yeah.
Because I think that's what you're getting at here. Not necessarily, not just the, all right, give me more athlete singer, give me more of these power type couples where you can see them both be successful and one doesn't have to dim their light. One doesn't have to dumb themselves down, or one doesn't have to achieve less so the other one can be successful. I think, now, you feel
That is yes.
Okay.
That's one
Because
step of it. But
often,
I think that singers, or particularly performers, because there are some, but that's difficult. Touring is hard. I think the closest celebrity match that you get in terms of lifestyle with professional athlete is that of a professional artist. And that's like no disrespect to movie stars or models or TV stars. Like there are famous people who maybe don't lifestyle-wise align quite as similarly as a professional athlete and a performer because of the training that's involved in it too. I just think it works really well.
And Jess, the bigger thing is athletes and performers are on the stage under the bright lights together. And the difference for Taylor is that she's the only one out there. She can have all the singers, everybody else behind her backing her up, but she's got to be on every single time she has a show and has to go out there. And, I think that's the part that Travis Kelce connects with, because and he can look around and it's like, I know that the joke was that she thought everybody was going to be on that field at first when she was learning about football. And when I saw that, I'm like, wait, what? But hockey, again, it's like they cycle those people out that, I could almost see that. But that idea of the pressure to perform, the lights come on and everybody's watching you, I think that's the thing that helps them connect and respect each other, him particularly her. But I will say, there are many of us women who are lucky enough to have partners who are incredibly supportive. I've got one. We've been married for nearly 29 years as of Saturday. And, he's let me go all over the world and do what I love to do. So
happy anniversary.
Thank you. And he looks at me the way that Travis Kelce looks at her. And the part that I loved, the Say Anything throwback, that he was kind of like outside, I want to date you. Mm-hmm. I mean, that was, and her talking about being in an 80s John Hughes movie, that was the fun part for me, because I want everybody to be happy and in love and have their partners completely supportive. And, that's what I've had. I want it for everybody.
Yeah. At one point I was like, oh, Chris, I see so much of you in Travis Kelce. And then he goes, no, I'm Jason Kelce. And I was like, okay. He's like, I'm taking my shirt off at every event that I can possibly do. And you're Kylie Kelce because she has a podcast and you have, and I was like, I love you for having this conversation with me and actually deeply thinking about this in this moment. And that is the kind of thing that you were talking about. All right, Teresa, things got spicy yesterday at Titans-Falcons practice. What did you hear about this skerfluffle involving Michael Penix Jr. and members of the Tennessee Titans?
Well, the fact of the matter is the Titans are on a long road trip, 9 nights away, and on Tuesday, they didn't do well in their joint practice with the Falcons. So they were a little salty come Wednesday. And when a team is salty and it's hot and it's training camp, things happen. So, there was pushing, shoving. Jeffrey Simmons' helmet got pulled off. And Michael Penix ended up underneath the pile after throwing a touchdown pass. And the good thing for the Falcons is that, the Falcons had Michael Penix's back. And the thing that kind of jumped out at me the most from that was Cam Ward after the practice talking about how he wants stability. He wants the Titans to kind of, stick with these coaches. I mean, that's what I was hearing. He wants the Titans to stick with these coaches to help him blossom. And, he sees them having top 10 offense potential. And it's like, now a quarterback should absolutely love his receivers. And he's calling that a top 5 group. They're going to have to prove it because, on paper, only Tyler Lockett and Calvin Ridley have those, bona fides. I mean, let's face it, Alec Ayamaner and Chim Dike, those are 2 rookies that are going to have to prove it. So, but he's got that confidence. And to me, that's the kind of thing that will give them a chance. Whatever success they have this year is because of Cam Ward's belief in his teammates and his desire, his work ethic to pull that out of them. And then last night, according to Calvin Ridley's IG, they were playing, laser tag. And, so we'll see. I mean, the kind of bonding that can go on a trip like this can only be determined once we get into the season, once they hit a rough patch. But, Brian Callahan in his second offseason is doing everything he can to help this mixture brew together so that it's ready when the season opens September 7th in Denver.
Teresa, what did you make of Cam Ward getting to the football stadium 6 hours before their first preseason game? Because CJ was a bit of a hater, saying 6 hours a bit much.
It is a bit much, but we talked to D'Angelo off air, and so I'm willing to change.
Okay.
We talked to him off air, and he was like, yo, and D'Angelo, I feel like, has the same mentality I do. He said he got there 5 hours before. It's like, okay, what time are these dudes showing up to the arena, Teresa?
Well,
To the
that's the
stadium.
thing. Every guy has their schedule, okay? And Cam Ward showed that he was coming with the equipment guys. And, the late Steve McNair, he would get there and he would take a nap, before the game. So literally in the locker room, he would take a nap.
I love that.
Yeah. And so it's like whatever you need to do to be ready for game time is what matters. There's some guys who take that last. What are you going to do? You're going to sit in the hotel knowing that you need to be at the stadium? And it's like, not yet. Not yet. So I'll take the next bus. No. Oh, it's time to go. And so he was, I don't have a problem with it, CJ. And if that's his routine, look at how he played on that second series. He was 5 of 6 for 67 yards. Yes, he got incredibly lucky when a defender, he's a defender for a reason, couldn't hold on to what should have been a pick. But he goes 5 of 6 on that drive, 67 yards. And God, I actually saw a Titans offensive line create a pocket. Did you hear the angels singing? It was like, ah. And so that was the thing. Those were the things that jumped out at me. How he bounced back from, those first 2 incompletions. He hit Van Jefferson, and Jefferson couldn't hold on to it with the defender right there. And he comes right back in that series and drives them down the field. And that was it's like, brother, take it. Do you want a bed so you can get there the night before? Whatever it takes for a player to be successful, that routine, stick with it. What did Crash Davis say once in a time? When you're on a streak, don't mess with the streak.
Don't mess with the streak.
I understand that. That's fine. What I don't like and what I pushed back on was that this was some type of tremendous feat of work ethic. Like he was just there 6 hours beforehand, running through drills, watching more film, getting his mind ready for the game. I was like, okay, wait a second.
He's watching John Cena.
It doesn't take 6 hours. And then we found, Jessica told me he was there watching John Cena movies and bopping about listening to music. So I get getting to the stadium 5-6 hours early now because, like you said, Teresa, you don't want to just sit in the hotel that whole time. You may as well go get there and sort of chill out there. It's not a work ethic thing so much as it is a just comfort, schedule, routine type thing.
That's the way I take it. And let's not forget, they've got snacks for the players in there, so you have breakfast at the hotel, then you go to the stadium and, you can, you start stretching and you can do it your way. And then that's the thing. I think it's more routine and what works for a player. And that's all that matters. Whatever works for you, do it and stick with it.
I know you have now had an opportunity with the Titans on the road for these 2 weeks of the preseason to turn your attention to college football, which is less than 10 days away, Teresa. We will be watching Kansas State and Iowa State play in Dublin, Ireland, and Farmageddon, as they're calling it. But you've been able to get your previews in on multiple teams, but we'll focus on the 2 in the state of Tennessee. So starting with the Tennessee Volunteers, for you, what is the biggest question for them as we approach this season?
Wide receiver. I mean, they're actually, we don't know who it's going to be. You would think by experience that it's Joey Aguilar, but he is also a guy who had, I think, 14 interceptions last year with Appalachian State. So can he make that jump? He was going to try to make it at UCLA, and then came Nico Iamaleava. I'm not even going to try to say Nico's last name anymore. He's not in the state. So I don't have, so.
Me neither. I'm a USC, by nature, as a USC alum and football fan, I'm also not going to say Nico's name anymore.
Well, that's the thing. So Nico drives Joey to Tennessee as they essentially swap quarterbacks. There's Jake Merklinger, who actually got into a couple games last year. And then there's George McIntyre. And Josh Heupel is letting them play it out. There's a scrimmage in the stadium tomorrow. And so we'll see if they take any further, I won't be surprised if we don't hear about the starting quarterback from Josh Heupel until the week that they open the season, August 25th. The game's August 30th at Atlanta against Syracuse. So to me, that's the biggest question. Second, they got 7 wide receivers, and only 3 of them are back from last year. So it's like, that's, who's catching the ball, no matter who's the quarterback, who's catching the ball, and they've had some injuries there. So huge question. And then thirdly, Jamad McCoy, cornerback, could be the first cornerback taken in the NFL draft in April. How is he coming back from the ACL? He got back in the practice field, easing his way back in this week. Will he be ready for the beginning of the season? Can he stay healthy the whole season? If he can, they've got some nice, that's maybe the strongest group on defense there in the secondary. So, let's see. They're 24th in the preseason AP poll. And, a lot of people are like, why are they ranked? And it's like, well, Josh Heupel's going into his 5th season now. Clark Lee's going into his 5th season. I'm losing track. Yeah, 5th season for Josh Heupel as well. He is out of the scholarship limitations that he entered in as they got rid of the whole Jeremy Pruitt era. And, so there's a lot of young people. He's got a lot of young players that are going to have to step up early and quick for him over there. So there's a lot of questions with Tennessee. Vanderbilt, Diego Pavia, Clark Lee, the time to cash those checks that Diego Pavia has been writing all offseason is coming. And that schedule is not pretty. They've got to go to Alabama, to Texas. LSU and Auburn come here, but then they also have to go to Tennessee. And they've got a couple of open dates in there that ease that crunch. But October is ugly for the Commodores. They are going to have to stay healthy. Or, as Clark Lee said at SEC Media Days, they were 4-4 in games decided by 1 possession or less. They were as close to 2-10 as they were 10-2. They ended up 7-6 and handing out bowl rings for the Birmingham Bowl.
I mean, it was this time last year that I sat and spoke with you both, mostly CJ. I don't remember your reaction, Teresa, but when I flirted with the notion that perhaps Vanderbilt could be a bowl team going into the season with Diego Pavia, I was laughed at. I was mocked. I was disrespected. But I will say it right here, right now. Those are checks that I'm not sure they can cash this season, Teresa, and that's just the nature of the SEC, and I love Diego Pavia's attitude. I have no issue with him talking big, having the confidence, because what else do you want from your quarterback? Also, you're Vanderbilt. It makes you relevant. I want a Diego Pavia t-shirt. If anybody out there has a cool, old 90s, somebody had one in the SEC Any Given Saturday documentary, and I saw it, and I've searched for it online, and I cannot find one, but if you have it, please let me know. All that said, it could be a difficult season for Vanderbilt.
We've talked about Pavia's behavior this off season. You and I have. I don't think we have, Teresa, and it's rubbing me the wrong way. And I am actively cheering for his demise. But last year was incredible. I don't want to tip my hand, Teresa, because we got to draft biggest college football upsets of all time. But I went back to that Alabama Vanderbilt game and just the history there. Absolutely, that's what you're supposed to do after you get that win.
Yes.
It makes sense why he's bopping about. You just don't do it and then have to play them again, though, right? You just don't do that and then have to come back to the SEC. You would do that and then just graduate and leave and don't come back, and then you can pop off all that you want to.
Yeah.
Now it's all right. You're talking a little too heavy right now, man.
I will take it if he just beats Hugh Freeze again. That's
he
just
had the number whether Hugh was at Liberty or at Auburn. So and Auburn comes here. So that's one that honestly they should win. And just
with all 3 of Auburn's play callers.
Let that sink in for a second. Teresa just said Vanderbilt Auburn is a game Vanderbilt should win.
That should be enough of a need. You should be like, damn, we have moved into different times.
It's different.
It is different, but that's the thing. And it's Clark Lee understands where they're at, but this is what NIL and all this money now, it's allowing, and Vanderbilt's always had the money. It's, choosing to spend it on college athletics, and they're doing that. The renovations are, maybe they may be tightening some bolts and hammering in some nails, as kickoff happens on the 30th against Charleston Southern. But I have felt for so many years, I started covering Vanderbilt in 1992. I have been Lucy pulling, I've been Charlie Brown with Vanderbilt's been my Lucy, and I'd be typing up the big upset because they're ahead at halftime against ranked teams. And then Lucy Vanderbilt yanks that away, and I've had to delete. So if I was paid for every story, every word I've written about Vanderbilt pulling off wins, I would be retired right now. But Last year, I finally got to do that. They are now 1-60 against AP, top 5 teams with that Alabama win. So I'll keep tuning in. I'd like to see a strong Vanderbilt in November and what it does, because guess what? That shows exactly how much college sports has changed. If Vanderbilt can compete for the possibility of a college football playoff, show me, baby.
As long as they have money. That's all that matters these days. Teresa, thanks for joining us as always. We will catch up with you next week. Bye. That is Teresa Walker. You can always find her latest at the Associated Press. Perfect segue, because we are drafting the greatest college football upsets of all time. It doesn't have to be the biggest, just the greatest. And they might be the biggest too. We'll find out our picks after a quick break.
You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for?
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item, whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Speaking of Adidas, are these the Harden 10s?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I guess so.
From what the
You guys don't sound too excited. It kind of looks like when you flush the toilet in the water.
Yeah, it's like a whirlpool.
Like a
You know what it
whirlpool.
is.
Wanna be phone
Yeah.
Wanna be phone positive.
Or artists just making some paint up and they just
Looks like phone puzzle material.
Yeah, or a
Yeah,
thumbprint.
like-
The Sneak Fest Show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Scotty Scheffler ran away with the Open Championship this weekend. My God, this guy, he's not real. Have we reached the point with Scotty Scheffler where you don't have to care a thing about golf, but you still know there's a dude named Scotty Scheffler who is awesome at it?
He is solidified himself as one of the greats in the sport. At this point, probably of all time.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Let's check the over-under totals. Alabama, Georgia, and Texas all at 9.5. LSU, Ole Miss, Tennessee at 8.5.
I love Ole Miss over the 8.5. I think Ole Miss can win 9.
But Ole Miss, they're gonna, Ole Miss, they're gonna lose to Arkansas week
But they
3.
could go 9-3. Like Ole Miss winning 10 games
They always
is
pull
always
some
like
crap like that.
Ole
you
Miss
know?
winning 10 can seem a bit of a stretch, but they can win 9.
They're gonna lose at Kentucky week 2.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Preseason Box to Row Coaches Poll has come out. Jackson State sits there at number 1. This is the 3rd time in the poll's history that Jackson State has been the preseason number 1 team in the nation. And then Tennessee State being at 5, that really surprised me. Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Welcome back. It is Thursday. It is draft day, and we are drafting the biggest college football upsets of all time, the best college football upsets of all time, the greatest college football upsets of all time, however you want to say it. Was it a great upset in college football? Cool. It's available to draft. Let's find out who has the number 1 overall pick. I actually don't want the number 1 overall pick, but that's okay.
Crazy enough?
You don't either?
I don't want the number 1 because my draft depends entirely on what you end up
So does
doing.
mine. So we're in a
Because
complicated situation.
If you're being a little twerp, then I'm coming through. I'm coming in
twerp?
hot. Yes, twerp. Which one are we doing?
We can twerp. Wow, I'm having a seizure.
Let's keep going. Let's keep
Ooh,
going.
I'm an astronaut.
Okay.
I
just
can
a
go to
regular
space
duck.
too.
I'm just a regular duck.
Or maybe it's not an
All
astronaut.
right, come
maybe
on,
I'm
duck.
just a motorcycle
Now
rider.
we're competing. I just want to win now, baby. Look at me pulling out in front.
No.
Boo.
Whee! All right. See, I know if I take one, I know what you're going to take with the next one.
Yeah, exactly.
I know
It's
exactly
here.
what you're going to take.
It's here. It's
but
waiting.
I kind
I'm
of
waiting
want
on
that
it.
one, too. Like, I respect that upset.
One of the cool
It's
things.
one of the craziest games.
One of the cool things about that upset, as the team pulling off the upset
Yes.
is walking off the field on the road. The fans stick around from the team that was just upset.
Yes.
And give them a standing ovation. Like, yo, that was impressive. Y'all were. Let me check my notes here to see if I have it. 30-something, 38-point dogs. I do believe. I think that was the second. That is the second largest.
If we're talking about the same
upset?
one, they were 41-point dogs.
Okay, so then 41. That's the second largest upset of all.
Okay,
all
fine.
time.
Let's do it. I'll take App State over Michigan.
Oh, you suck.
I will be the twerp.
I hate you. I hate you.
Where were you on September 1st, 2007?
Crying into my pillow.
When App State,
Mike Hart, how could
two-time
you?
defending 1AA FCS national championship,
Chad
and
Henne, where were you?
FCS number 1 team, App State, beats number 5 Michigan 34-32
hold me.
in front of 109,000 fans at Michigan Stadium. Michigan was a preseason popular national champion pick. This was App State's 15th straight win dating back to 2006. Don't call it an upset, but we will, because it was insane. App State only rotated through 27 total players on offense and defense during that game. App State scored all 4 touchdowns in the first half, kicked 2 field goals in the second half. First game ever on the Big Ten Network. This was our first introduction to the Big Ten Network, was Michigan losing to App State. It was also one of my favorite fun facts, Tom Brenneman and Charles Davis's second game together as a play-by-play analyst duo. Their first had been 9 months before, and it was the 2007 Fiesta Bowl where Boise State beat Oklahoma. So they were like 2 for 2 on crazy outcomes when they were in the broadcast booth. 2007 was just a great year for college football. If I had to look back on a specific season of college football that was instrumental in acting as a gateway drug to me being psychotic about my college football love, I would have to go back to 2007, coming off that Fiesta Bowl, going into the 2007 season and having this App State win over Michigan. It was the curse of number 2 year, where 7 teams ranked second in the AP poll lost in the last 9 weeks of the season.
That was the year Rutgers jumped up, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
It's the Tebow Heisman year. For me, it's the
remember.
Colt Brennan RIP Hawaii year, and they make it to the Sugar Bowl. But it was just a great year of college football, but nothing was better than the App State win over Michigan.
Everything was better than the App State win over Michigan. Let me that's my favorite Michigan team of all time. And that's my favorite team because they had so much adversity, not just from an injury standpoint. Like Chad Henne, by the time the Illinois game comes up, every time he throws the ball, his shoulder is popping out of socket. Like, and it's very clear, like, oh, he can't throw a forward pass. He's going to the locker room after every possession to get treatment shots. For that shoulder. Mike Hart ends up at a certain point with a high ankle sprain, so he's not able to run the ball effectively. They go from losing that game to App State to having Dennis Dixon, who should have and would have won that Heisman Trophy had he not blew out his ACL, and Oregon Ducks. And all Oregon does is obliterate these dudes, right? So you're coming off back-to-back terrible, atrocious, god-awful losses. one to App State FCS team, or one AA team at the time, and one to Oregon, who was pretty damn good, both at home. Next up is Notre Dame and Brady Quinn. No, is it Brady Quinn? Who's on Big Noon? Who's the one on Big Noon?
It's Brady Quinn, isn't it?
No, it's not Brady.
Yes, it is.
Is it Brady Quinn?
It's Brady Quinn.
Okay,
yeah,
so
it's Brady Quinn.
They come through, and all Michigan does is shellac those dudes, beat the hell out of that Notre Dame team. And then they go on to have not the season we thought they were going to have, right? We were expecting to go to the Rose Bowl. We were expecting to be national champions. Everybody came back because it's like, hey, Ohio State's been whooping our ass too long. We got to come back and get that win. And you don't get any of that. That team ends the season ranked. They end the season with a win over that Tim Tebow Florida team. And all the talk was Michigan is too slow to keep up with Florida. Michigan is not athletic enough to keep up with Florida. Florida's so confident they're going to win. They jump on the 50. And we know one thing about college football. You don't touch the damn 50. Even if it's a neutral site, you don't touch the damn 50. And Michigan went out there and could have beat Florida by 40 had Mike Hart not fumbled the ball twice going into the end zone, stretching out to try and get the score. And that's why they fought through adversity. And so I hate that game, but I appreciate the moment that it gave me, a moment that I will show my kids, where it is, hey, field goal gets blocked. The game is over. It shouldn't matter what happens, but Michigan fights through it, runs down the field, and tackles App State before they put on a touchdown to win by 10 for no damn reason. So, whatever. Since you're going there, I'll take Stanford, USC.
Figured you would.
2007. Jim Harbaugh's first season.
USC lost to Stanford 3 of my 4 years at USC, so it was a tragic time.
You guys might forget what Stanford was.
Woo, this was a fun thing to dive into.
They were atrocious.
So bad. Well, now they're back to
the
circle is round.
Back to that. Stanford, the 10 previous seasons before this game, 8 of the 10 previous ones, losing records. This season, losing record. They were 4-8 in this season. So it was not like Stanford won this and were all of a sudden good that year. No, they were still a 4-win team. Before this season, Stanford had 10 wins once. 10 wins once before the Jim Harbaugh era pops off. They go 4-8 this season, 8-5 the next season, and then after that, Jim and Coach Shaw, they end up with 6 10-win seasons in that span. This is a bad Stanford team. They were 40.5-point dogs. USC was seeking their third straight natty that year. Not third straight, third natty in 5 years, excuse me. And Stanford just goes out there and on this beautiful touchdown pass, just lobbed it up in the back corner of the end zone, secures the catch, touchdown, and it's all over from there. Touchdown to tie it, field goal to win it, and it starts the rivalry between Jim Harbaugh and Pete Carroll. And going back and looking at this, college football needs that on the West Coast. Yes. They need Pete Carroll and Jim Harbaugh beefing on the West Coast.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
R.I.P. John David Booty.
Oh.
John David Booty. That was the end for him.
Yeah.
And then it becomes Mark Sanchez's team. Good pick. I respect it. I respect.
I don't respect yours, whatever.
All right, I could go 2 ways here, and this is where things get difficult because greatest upset and biggest upset sometimes are 2 different things. And in terms of an upset that we will remember for the rest of our lives, and I know this is recency bias, and I know we just talked about it, and it was not.
Don't take it. That's
it was
on my
not
list.
point spread wise the biggest upset of all time. But vibe-wise, Vanderbilt beating Alabama in 2024 will be remembered forever and ever and ever. Amen. You have the clip of Nick Saban that they put on the Jumbotron saying it's the only easy place to play in the SEC. There are no easy places to play in the SEC except Vanderbilt. And then Alabama goes in there and loses after Vandy has been historically the punching bag of the SEC. 23-game losing streak to Alabama. They had never beaten a number 1 ranked team. They had never beaten a number 5 ranked team. Every break for Vanderbilt happened at the perfect time in that game. 4th down conversion for a huge touchdown. One of Alabama's 6 penalties in the game extended Vanderbilt's drive that ended in a touchdown. It was like watching something unfold that you just could not believe you were actually seeing Vanderbilt beat Alabama. And I don't think it even hit when it happened at the end until Diego Pavia is dropping F-bombs in the walk-off interview on the field. And you're just like, holy bleep and bleep. Like, this actually just happened. So I think that is notable as one of the greatest upsets. We might, eons down the road, forget just what it felt like to watch it, but being here right now, I will tell you, it was crazy.
I'll never forget it. You brought up the record versus Alabama. 23 straight. It had been 40 years since they beat them. That was the most points. I didn't realize this until I started digging into it. That was the most points Vanderbilt had scored against Alabama since 1906. 1906. That was the first time Vanderbilt had scored more than 21 points or more than 20 points on Alabama since 1996. That was, you brought up the AP streak. Not only they were winless against AP ones, but they had a 60-game losing streak to AP top fives, which is the longest in AP history. And we started doing this thing in 1936. That's a big time upset. That's a good pick. That was on my list to absolutely grab. But you took App State, and I had to take Stanford. Speaking of App State, since 2007, FBS teams are 1,695 and 134 against FCS opponents. So anytime one of those happens, it's a big deal.
Yes.
If you're curious, I can run through the records and I can run through how much they're beating the hell out of these dudes by. But I'll say this. A total of 1,829 games were played between FBS and FCS teams from 07 to 2024. 1,075 of those games, so roughly 60% of those games, were won by the FBS opponent by a final margin of 25 points or more.
Okay.
On average, FBS is beating FCS opponents by about 30 points per game on average. Okay? All right. And then you have 2017. You have Howard University, HU. Shout out to the HBCUs. Going to UNLV. Kalen Newton under center. That's Cam's baby brother. They are 45 and a half point, 45 and a half? You're a dog of 45 and a half in Vegas against UNLV. And they come out of there with a win. They come out there with a win outright. Damn, covering the spread in Vegas. Give me the outright win. And the biggest, the largest win by point spread in college football history. Give it to me. Howard versus UNLV, 2017.
I give that to you.
You
it
did.
was next on my list.
You did. If you hadn't taken App State, I would have gone Vanderbilt and then Howard.
Okay. I'm glad I took it.
Because if you didn't take it, I wasn't going to take it.
So there was a jump between 2007 and 2017, because previously the Stanford upset over USC was the largest point spread upset of all time. Then Howard takes that top spot, and that has not been beaten. I don't know if we'll ever see somebody topple that. But
45
I'm sure
and a half? We don't
make them like that.
No way. There's no way we're going to.
them
Somebody
like
has
that.
a 48-point dog going out there winning outright.
But that's my point. But it took over 20 years for that USC-Stanford game to topple what had stood as the greatest point spread upset of all time. With my number 3 pick, I will take the 1985 Oregon State upset over the University of Washington. And for people who might not remember the mid-'80s, Washington was a powerhouse of West Coast football. They ended the 1984 season ranked number 2 in the nation, and heading into their opening game of the 1985 season, a lot of confidence. They're going up against an Oregon State team that had lost by a margin of 97-0 in its last 2 games. 97-0. Oregon State, a 38-point underdog to the University of Washington. Their starting quarterback, their leading receiver, both out of the game with injuries. And then with 1:29 left in the fourth quarter, Oregon State picks off the Huskies 4 times, blocks a punt, recovers it in the end zone to take the lead, and eventually win the game. It was a wild game. It is one of those things that starts the lore of Oregon State being a place where upsets can happen. Or a team that can make upsets happen. And the head coach at Oregon State was Dave Cragthorpe. Took down a vaunted Don James University of Washington team. It happened at the University of Washington. Just a wild thing to happen. Like, if you live in the Pacific Northwest, people still talk about this game to this day.
Legend has it that as the players are running off the field, they scream at the fans. You can blame your media for this because the media had talked so badly about, and rightfully so. Rightfully so.
Yes.
The Oregon State coming in, I think they had lost 4 straight. I'm pretty sure they had lost 4 straight.
Yes.
Curious about the teams? They lost to USC, right? Pac-10 or Pac-8 at the time. Pac-10 at the time, I think.
Yes.
They had lost to Washington State.
Yes.
Pac-10 at the time. They had lost to Fresno State.
Yes.
I'm not sure where the hell they were. And I know where Grambling State is.
Right.
I know where the Fighting Mike Wallaces go. And then on this, look at this punt. Back up, give me that. Give me that.
Good.
We don't need a quarterback. We don't need a receiver. We
got
just
that.
need heart, hustle, and intensity. Look at them celebrating. They look so awkward celebrating. They don't know what to do.
Insane.
What a win. What a pick. All right. I will go with mine. I will go all the way back to 1969.
Okay, phew.
I will go. I don't know where you thought I was going, but you lucked up. 1969. The greatest football team, according to media, ever assembled, resided in Columbus, Ohio. They had all of these All-Americans. They had just won a national championship. Woody Hayes was getting that Bear Bryant type treatment, where it's like, oh, this dude is different. They were beating teams by an average of like 20. Nobody had gotten into within 3 scores of them all season. So by an average of 21, they were beating teams. Nobody was scoring more than 21 points in a game against them. Nobody. They're beating teams by more than 3 touchdowns. And then here comes poor little old small Michigan. Bo Schembechler. Nobody gave him a chance. All they did in that game in 1969 was save college football, which is all Michigan ever does. Before we just let anybody into a playoff, before we just let anybody get into these things and compete for a national championship, you used to have to win your conference to get to a bowl game and then to get to be ranked nationally. That's what you used to have to end the season ranked nationally. That's what you used to have to do. And Michigan was the only thing that stood between the world and evil-ass Ohio State. If Michigan wasn't there, Ohio State would have won all these damn championships. But in this year, Bo Schembechler said enough is enough. 24-12, Michigan went out there and forced 7 damn turnovers, ruining that Ohio State team season and starting the 10-year war, where it was Michigan, it was Ohio State, it was Bo, it was Woody. One of the greatest 10-year rivalry periods of all time. Give it to me. Michigan, Ohio State. Michigan over Ohio State, 1969.
When you said go way back, I got really nervous. But 1969, that's
You thought I was going
play,
to like,
baby.
you going 1906?
Not quite that
Okay.
far.
All right. Just
I'm going back to 1911.
1911?
The year is 1911.
We hadn't finished the First World War yet.
1911.
Okay.
And that is the year that the great Carlisle Indian Industrial School upset Harvard.
What?
The Crimson Tide fell. Do you know who coached the Carlisle Indian Industrial School? Glenn Pop Warner.
Pop coached them?
Coached by Glenn Pop Warner.
Let's
Jim
go.
Thorpe was on their team, widely considered one of the most versatile athletes in sports history.
He's got that award named after
He sure
Thorpe.
does. He won 2 gold medals at the 1912 Olympics, one in pentathlon, one in decathlon, but then he lost his Olympic medals because they found out he was playing baseball for money and that violated the amateur rule. Whatever. He was their running back, their defensive back, their place kicker, and their punter on the Indian Industrial School, and they beat Harvard 18-15 in front of 25,000 fans in Cambridge.
You know it was a raucous crowd.
Whew. They had to be devastated. Crazy little story about that Indians team. They beat Army the next season, and Army's linebacker got hurt trying to tackle Thorpe. Can you tell me who Army's linebacker was?
Dick Buckus.
Dwight D. Eisenhower.
Get outta
Our
here.
presidents used to play football. We were a proper country.
They didn't have bone spurs back then. All right,
We were a proper country.
I will go right here in the great state of Memphis, Tennessee. Or in the great state of Memphis. They played Tennessee in 1996. Stephen is in the chat making some good points.
Okay.
That this is not the biggest upset or the one that he thinks of when he thinks about upsets in Memphis football history. He's brought up the win in the Swamp against Florida. There's been Memphis has a history of upsets. There's the Florida State win. I do believe they got a win over Ole Miss. And when Eli was there here recently, they've knocked off a couple of SEC teams also. But this is why I'm taking Memphis, Tennessee, 1996. Because it's not like Memphis won. They weren't good. And that Tennessee team was supposed to be led by Peyton Manning. 1, 2. They didn't have a good game either. Season lows I do believe they were 4-8 that season. Season lows in a single game and first downs, they only had 9 first downs. Total offense, 153 yards of total offense. Plays run, 53. They only completed 8 passes, and they only held the ball for 22 minutes. And they still went out there and got the win over the vaunted Tennessee Volunteers, Peyton Manning, and that bunch right there. 21 points for Memphis. They beat them 21-17, if I remember correctly. The 21 points for Memphis that year was a season high. By the third quarter of that Tennessee game, they had gone 14 quarters with only 1 touchdown. And they won that game. Give it to me.
Yeah.
That's not supposed to happen. Give it to me, though. Memphis, Tennessee, 1996.
This is the time where we're inevitably going to leave some off the board because personal insights take hold. And you won't find this game on many lists for whatever reason, which I think is insane because I think it is one of the greatest upsets of all time. Statistically, it wasn't. The team that was supposed to win, just a 7.5-point favorite, dealing with a lot of injuries, so it wasn't that crazy. But it was when Boise State beat Oklahoma in the Fiesta Bowl in overtime, 43-42, the Statue of Liberty for the win, the hook and ladder for the tie. And I cannot express to you, this is a Nepo pick, and I don't care, and thank you for saying it matters, because it matters to me, and it should matter to more people. When you think about David versus Goliath, when you think about Cinderella stories in college football, when you think about the old BCS Buster, it is that Boise State win over Oklahoma. It changed narratives. It changed how we view, what if this team is Boise State? It created a lane for the non-power conference schools to flirt with the notion of, hey, if we can get there, we can beat you. And Boise State gets that win. It is the greatest football game that I have ever attended in my lifetime, and I don't think I'll ever experience anything like it. I will never forget leaving school, going into Christmas break, and this punk Derek Muncie just sitting in the first row of our stupid honors history class saying, this is stupid. Why are they even playing the game? There's no chance that you think a school from the WAC is going to be Oklahoma. And I was like, yeah, I sure think they are. And coming back from Christmas break and saying, what now, Derek Muncie?
Is that what you said, though?
No.
What did you do?
I said, ha.
No, really, what did you do?
No, I was like, I remember going up to, I wore a Boise State shirt, because of course, you're in high school, like you lean fully into that kind of thing.
What grade?
Freshman year of high school.
Okay.
And we had same class, the classes carry over.
Yeah.
And I went up to him and I was just like, how'd you like the Fiesta Bowl? And he was like, yeah, whatever, everyone was hurt and I knew it was gonna happen. And I was like, no, you didn't say that. And I remember getting in like a little argument about, I'm like, that's not what you said. You said they had no chance.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, well, it's not as big of a deal. And I'm like, yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's on the front page of every sports magazine. It's on the
always
number one
we
story of
talked about for
everything.
like 2 or 3 months.
It was done in such a cool way.
Yeah.
He had the proposal afterwards. There was just like so much with it.
Are they still married?
Yeah.
Turn up.
Every time I
Shout out
check,
to
I haven't checked recently. You
Okay.
never know, but they were like a couple years ago when I looked.
What I should have
Anyway.
taken number 1 is that one. I should have took that one
Because you would have stolen it.
because I would have stolen, and you wanted it.
Yeah. It means something.
It does. Like that's why people, I think, sillily, if that's a word, but like that's why they get they watch these power conference versus non-power conference games, and why whenever you're trying to talk logically about the game, and hey, logically, there's no way the team from the power conference should lose to this team not in the power conference. Say, hey, what about Boise? And then, like, you just got to shut the hell up at that point, because what about Boise? No. Adrian Peterson was on that football field, damn it. All right, last pick. Give me, where am I going to go here? Give me Navy over Notre Dame 2007.
Another one of those 2007 games.
2007 was a wild year. How many of those? We got 3 2007 games on this list.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And all of them should be, with the exception of App State, but for personal reasons, all of them should be there.
Yeah.
Anytime you break a streak of 43 straight losses to a team, that goes on there. And then that game was so incredible to sit there and watch because it was not 1, not 2, but 3 overtimes for Notre Dame to finally fall to Navy. Great scenes coming out of that game as well. And that moment keeps me coming back to Navy Notre Dame, right? Like that moment keeps me wanting that game on the schedule, even though I know we just talked about it, the non-power versus the power. I know what's probably going to happen, but I'm hopeful to grab that feeling again. I've been chasing that purple dragon and I want it. And every time I catch it, it makes me feel so good.
We're all hooked on the feeling of these games.
Yes.
And it carries us through.
Maybe not from the one in 1911, but like the rest of them we're on.
I believe that Harvard can come back. I believe. Anyway, great little draft. That was fun.
I think people are going to be upset about it, but whatever.
It's fine. No one cares about the draft today. They care about Taylor Swift.
I'll turn up.
We're good.
Are we not clipping the draft?
Probably not.
Okay.
Maybe I'll clip it tomorrow. Anyway, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. CJ and I both saw Weapons, highly anticipated horror movie of the summer. We will get into our thoughts on that. We will not do spoilers, but it is kind of the kind of movie that, like, if you just know nothing about it, it's fun going into. That's just my fair warning. But we will not spoil the movie. We'll give our thoughts on it after a quick break.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum, Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
Going through the draft process the first time, they give you the answers to the test. Like, this is what you need to work on. This is what you do well.
They told you.
Yeah, like they tell you.
Here's what, if you want to get drafted, here's what needs to happen.
Yeah, they tell you. So it's like, if you're not listening, it'll go right over your head. But for me, I made sure to soak up all information and everything possible so I can give myself the best shot.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
You get to the main event, and you hear the crowd. There's some rumblings in the crowd.
Here we go.
They say, "We want truth."
I love how John Cena said when they were chanting, "We want truth." You can't handle the truth.
There you go.
I loved it.
He takes the knee off, boom. Takes the mask off, boom. And it's our freaking truth. God, man, he cost John Cena the match.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Did you know the Grizzlies were going to try to get up and get you?
No, I have no clue. I thought the Grizzlies loved me when I worked out because it was like super fun and everything was, just natural. We were just having a conversation. It wasn't like said, what's your favorite color and, like all that stuff.
What's your favorite color?
It wasn't interview.
First date type vibe.
Yeah, it wasn't interview questions. It was just like, hey man, how you doing? Like, and it was just real easy to talk to him. It was real easy to talk to Coach Thomas.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What is the biggest Summer League accomplishment so far for this Grizzlies team?
Tuomas Isalo filling out his coaching staff. The Ryan Saunders hiring was essential. It was big time. You have a veteran NBA voice there.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Thursday before we get out of here and into the rest of our Thursday day before Friday. CJ and I both saw Weapons, which is Zach Cregger's big horror movie of the summer, the movie that gained a lot of buzz because Jordan Peele lost the rights to direct it and fired his entire team for not getting access to this movie. It opened with $70 million at the global box office. Its production budget was $38 million, so it has already far exceeded its budget. It is expected to continue drawing big numbers in the second weekend at the box office. It was the kind of movie where there was so much hype leading up to it. I desperately wanted to see it before it was spoiled for me in any way, shape, or form, which I'm glad, because it even was spoiled for me in one teeny tiny way by somebody who posted a giveaway that they got at a screening of the movie, and it was something that ends up popping up in the movie, and then I knew that it at least played a part. It wasn't a big deal. It didn't have any real impact on the plot, but I was like, oh, I would have enjoyed to know nothing. But I, for the most part, didn't know anything, and I really enjoyed this movie. I don't want to overhype it because I think that's where we get into problematic film talk these days. Everything has to be the best ever, the scariest ever. This is like the greatest horror movie that we've had in years. It was just a really good time. I really enjoyed going to that movie. I jumped. I giggled way more than I thought that I would. I had a joyous time watching this movie. I cackled at one point in this movie, and seeing it in a theater amongst other people who were having similar reactions was a very enjoyable experience as well. So I recommend this, but if you're going to it thinking that it's going to be the greatest movie of the year or the greatest horror movie of all time, I think you're going to be left disappointed.
Yeah, I'd agree with that sentiment. See this with people. Because the viewing experience with people does make this better. I've had a couple of moments in movies that will stick with me forever this year. One of them being in Sinners, the club scene, the juke joint scene, incredible. It'll be with me for forever. And there's a scene in this one that is also incredible, and it will be with me forever. Now, it's a different movies. I'm not going to compare and contrast those movies. I think that for me watching it, I watched it in the theater on Tuesday, and people were in there. In the communal experience, I get what you're saying about seeing it in theaters. And if you can't see it in theaters, definitely do a watch along with people at the house. You're
sleepover
right.
movie.
You're right. It's a terrific sleepover movie. It is. The things that they do with the sound, I wish they would have played with it a little bit more, because in moments there is sound, like faint sounds coming from over there, from those speakers, and then there's some coming from the other speakers. I think they could have made it a whole lot more uneasy, creepy, unsettling in moments if you just had random noises coming from the speakers during moments of real high tension. It's supposed to, we talked about this. I know, right? I know how it ends, and I know you're supposed to sit in the ending, and it's supposed to make you, I feel like they want you to be uneasy. That's my guess. Like there's an uneasiness that you're supposed to leave the theater with. A perfect example, Boy in Striped Pajamas. That movie ends, and it's like, holy hell, what did I just watch?
Yeah.
For me, Boy in Striped Pajamas, it was fine. It was pretty boring, if I'm gonna be honest. And then the ending happened, is like, holy hell, this is incredible. What just happened? And I feel like Weapons is supposed to make you feel that. Yeah. And there's an anxiety there that you're supposed to leave with. And I just didn't have it. I'm thinking about the role trauma and grief ends up playing, and how people are never the same after these events. It just didn't do that for me.
Yeah, I think I had such a fun time. I also did not leave in that
and
place.
that's the
However,
issue. And you have the fun time.
Yes, towards the end.
Right before the big thing.
Right. And I understand why the ending is controversial, I guess.
Is it controversial?
In terms of people liking how it ended versus not liking how it ended. I did not mind how it ended, but I can understand the other side's point of wanting something different. But I found myself later in the night, the next day, and we talked about this earlier this week, I think it's partially because of the kind of content that I am ingesting right now, from the TV show I'm watching and The Leftovers to the docuseries that I'm watching in the yogurt store murders, and this overarching idea of how a community moves on from a tragedy happening within it. And I actually think that this ending, the more I sat on it, I was like, oh, they stuck it. Like it's a perfect representation of how these kind of things, and there's no real sensible nature of, one, why something happens, or two, why certain people react one way to a tragic event happening versus somebody else acting a completely different way, and the impact of that for years and years down the road. The last movie that made me feel like uncomfortable, you said Boy in the Striped Pajamas, mine was Zone of Interest, and another movie that I think could be defined as
same topic,
boring to some degree, but holy hell, like that movie still gives me a pit in my, I bring up Zone of Interest and it brings a pit in my stomach. That's where I'm saying, like, this movie, I'm not gonna be thinking about it for the rest of my life. Like I regularly sit and I'll be like, God, Zone of Interest really just knocked me out. This movie made me think, man, when I'm showing my child like a horror movie anthology of horror movies from my adulthood, I know all the ones from my childhood. I'm gonna show him Halloween. I'm gonna show him The Exorcist. I'm gonna show him Psycho. I'm gonna show him Jaws. I'm gonna show him The Haunting of Hill House. Like, just things that I think back on. What's the Kathy Bates movie that I can never remember the name of it, but where she hobbles the guy.
She's breaking legs?
Yeah. Mercy?
Oh, it might be. I'll figure it out.
Whatever. What Lies Beneath was like a big one for me. I would think that I would include this one because I enjoyed the genre that Kreger's going with, where there's humor in horror. Like, I think that's a very fun place to come from. It's not everybody's cup of tea. Some people just want really deeply scary movies, and that's not what this was.
Misery.
Misery. Thank you. Misery.
I see what you're saying, and I think that the ending is the way that it is because you leave the theater and you just go about your life.
Yeah.
And the big theme of the movie, you can see it. It's pretty heavy-handed.
Pretty obvious.
It's pretty heavy-handed. We do just go that next day. We are back to just feeling okay and doing nothing to try and solve the issue, or not doing not enough. I will say doing nothing because it sure as hell feels like we're doing nothing. Some people will say, okay, we might not be doing enough to try and figure this this type of stuff out. And so I guess maybe that might be why it ends the way that it ends. Also, I just think that also I don't want to give anything away, but there are certain things in scary movies that feel just off limits, right? Like I enjoy The Entity, and I can find The Entity nowhere anymore because it feels like we've decided, hey, like rape and horror should not go together. We're not doing that anymore. Even the last,
it almost puts a campiness to it.
And it just feels like, okay, that might be a bit too intense. And so some of the other things that feel like is off limits are like, hey, what do we do with people of a certain age? And so you can't do the grotesque things.
No, we
with
just always
that.
have a creepy kid.
The kid can be creepy.
This kid, best creepy kid we've had in a minute.
Damien, creepy as hell.
Yeah.
But it's not like when that movie ends, they shoot him in the chest and
or light Damien on fire.
Light him on fire or something like that, send him to hell where he belongs. No, he gets to live through it. And so I think there's something there also where we decided, hey, we're not going to like murder children. And that might be why some of the things pop off the way that they end up popping off.
Yeah.
But all in all, it's a good movie. Solid movie, not the greatest movie I've seen. Probably won't make my top 5, top 10 of this year. I'm glad I went to see it, and it was worth the watch.
Yeah, great way to put it. And again, all three, I want to echo this because I mean it deeply. 3 great times at the movie theater this year: Sinners, Weapons, and Naked Gun. And I had not had that feeling in a while. Like, I had kind of drifted into the space of, I'll just watch. I love movie theaters, but I'll watch movies at home because it's convenient and it's easier. But no, the communal experience of watching a reactionary-based movie with other people, strangers particularly, is just a very fun thing that I hope we don't lose entirely someday. Save the movies. Save the theaters.
They've got to do a better job adapting.
Fix the seats.
Well, I went to.
Keep the babies out.
I went to. Well, hey.
Where'd you go?
Paradiso. Seat was just fine.
The seats are my local movie theater is falling apart a
Your
little
neighborhood
bit. My
theater?
neighborhood theaters has seen better days. It's having some troubles at the moment. I like Paradiso a lot. I like Studio on the Square. I like Ridgeway. I like them all. I found a movie theater that has a 10 a.m. movie.
Who?
Hollywood 20. I don't know where it is. I looked up when I was getting my car. I was on Covington Pike, and I looked up closest movie theater, and it was the one by, I think it's by Golf and Games.
Okay.
That movie theater. There was a 10 a.m. showing of Freaky Friday, or Freakier Friday.
That's supposed. I didn't know that theater was still open. Off of. Yeah. You said by Golf and Games.
You know what I'm talking about. You
Covington
don't know
Pike?
I'm bad with directions.
Yeah. I don't know if Golf and Games is. I don't know of a Golf and Games.
2 hour, not 2 hour. It was a 2 mile walk from where I was to Golf and Games and to that movie theater.
The only Golf and
But I
Games.
might be wrong.
Only Golf and Games I know is off of Summer and Sycamore View. Right.
Yeah,
It's that way.
it is that Golf and Games, and there's
Okay.
a movie theater close to that, not right next to it, but close to it.
Yeah,
in
I
the
know that
general
theater.
vicinity.
That's a discount theater
Yeah.
also. Yeah. I didn't
Got a
know.
$2 popcorn.
I didn't know it was still open. But yeah, that's a cool
I think
theater.
it's back open.
That's an
With an early morning
That's an
movie.
affordable theater. Yes.
All right, everyone, we'll see you tomorrow. It'll be a Friday. Woo! We'll find out the NBA schedule. It's dropping at 2:15 according to the NBA, 2:15 Central Time. So we'll be able to get in here,
Tell 'em about
talk
Frisbee.
about all the games tomorrow. But you don't have to wait for us to talk about the games because you can watch it live on Grizbeat today. Who's the crew on Grizbeat? We got Jarvis in here.
Jarvis is in here.
We got Mike Wallace in here.
Mike Wallace is in
We got
here.
CJ Hurt in here.
I'm not important, but yeah, I'll be over here.
Who
I'm
else
not
do we
important. You got Robert Fisher.
The Schedule King.
The Schedule King himself.
Wow.
And are you sitting down? I hope you're seated. Hope you're seated. Hold on to your chairs and your asses, because Eric Hasseltine is coming through, folks.
The Hoss?
The Hoss!
The Hoss?
The Hoss!
We'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye.